How about some insider tips on negotiating with Lennar? Hey everybody, it's Alyson with Live South Denver, your real estate strategist and realtor for the South Denver area. I have been in it thick with Lennar this week with a couple different clients, and I picked up some things they probably didn't mean to tip their hand on about negotiating with them. I go in over the weekend with a client to view a home that had already had a reduced price on it. It's a very quick move-in property. It's actually going to be ready 3 weeks from when we view it. My client likes the house. They go, take their time, take a day to think about it, go back, review the home, decide it's the one for them. We let the salesperson know, say we're ready to start with an offer. So I'm sending back and forth numbers, terms, all of these things. We come back around with agreement on Sunday morning. The agent gets things working, gets all the details out to the client via an email with ancillary documents to review, the link to submit the earnest money, a PDF version of the contract for them to review, gets it to my client at 2:30 on Sunday afternoon. This seems like a small detail, but it's really important. At the bottom of the email, it says, we need all of this returned to us by 5 p.m. today. 2.5 hours to review a contract, submit earnest money, see if you like the HOA docs, which we then realized they had never sent over even though they said they did, had not reviewed soils reports, really had no other information other than the short contract from Lennar saying you commit to buying this home, all within 2.5 hours. So my clients are like, this is not even possible. Why the high pressure sales tactic? It's been very pleasant up until now. The negotiations were really not so difficult. They had already taken a lot off the price. So we were moving toward closing costs and other coverage on this property. And they were pushing so hard to get this contract signed. Lennar was. All of a sudden, they were going to take earnest money down from $5,000 to $500. Make a mental note there. They were talking about moving the price lower. So they were willing to give even a little more on price. We just want it signed today, they said. And I finally was like, you might lose my clients. They are not signing this contract in 2.5 hours. You can forget it. They're not even home. They have children. They're packing from their current place. We've got a lot going on. They can't do their due diligence on this property in 2.5 hours. They should have at least 24 hours to sign a contract. It'll be under duress. No attorney would even hold up this contract review if something happens. You guys need to slow your roll. So we had a lot of back and forth going on, and they started to get frustrated, but started to slip in what the thinking is behind this. So here is your tip. They like to have their contracts signed on Sunday, heading into Monday, and know where they're at. I think they have to send all their reports up to corporate. I think they have a whole lot going on in terms of what they have to send, report, their structure of what they did over the week and through the week. And so Sundays are very important to them. So you're hearing they'll take their earnest money down, which is either a standard $5,000 or $10,000 depending on the size of the home, and they'll drop it. They're willing to negotiate more on price and drop it. So number of sales to them is so important. Also, Lennar runs their fiscal year through November. They do not run on a calendar year. However, they report on traditional quarters. We're coming up on the end of a traditional quarter right now. We're at the end of June as I record this. So that is another component of this push. Anytime you can buy with a builder coming up on the end of one of their quarters, you're gonna be doing better in terms of negotiations. So when we're looking at quarters, we're talking March, June, September, right? And that's true for Lennar. Those are the quarters they report, but they don't report on December in the same way. They want November to be the quarter they really look at as the close of their fiscal year. So when we're looking at deals and sales and all of that, while you might find for most builders, the year end is a big deal. While it's a reporting quarter for Lennar, their deals are happening leading up to November. So something else to know for them. Now, I share all this because, one, you can use it to your advantage. If you're willing to sign a contract in 2.5 hours or 2 hours because they want it signed before they close at 6 o'clock in the summer and 5 o'clock in the winter, because we kind of keep our business hours at the builders with the time change, then more power to you. Otherwise, push back. They'll take the deal the next day. My clients did not sign. They signed it the next day. Nothing changed. Not a thing. It was all fine. What they tried to come back and say is, well, if the rates change, we're not going to be able to give you the same incentive. This is really to your buyer's advantage. We're doing it to serve you. No, that was not what it was about. They need numbers by Sunday. They let that slip out of their frustration, and I'm here to tell you what it's all about. So if you're dying to get the best deal possible, go in on Saturday, view that house, or go in the week before and come back the next weekend on Saturday, negotiate, get that contract signed on Sunday, and you're gonna have a lot more leveraging power. If you want support, bring myself, bring another agent you know, like, and trust. We'll be happy to negotiate even further for you. And if there's anything else about the new build or Denver market that I can support with, please reach out. You know I'd love to connect. I will see y'all next week.